Can we work it out? Only time will tell. It's gonna take a lot, 'cause we've been through hell. I can't be without you. I've tried and I failed. So can we work it out? Yeah. Only time will tell. I still want all of you and I know all your colors. And I guess 'cause of that I can think of no others. Yeah, I need you to breathe. Without you I'm lost. I'm lost, yeah.
Ooh, what's going on everyone, RG here and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel, people. Welcome. I hope you're all doing amazing, and today you've got the right to remain cool. Because we're gonna make a courthouse. Now, this is a build that I wanted to make for, I think, from the beginning of me creating stuff on the channel for the Sims 4 game. But I think until today, or until recent times, let's say it, until basically we got the small business venue options, I was not really sure how it's gonna work. I didn't see any good reason to create a courthouse. And I wanted to create a courthouse that is actually functional, like something that you can actually feel like you are in a courthouse. So this is exactly what we're gonna do today. And I really do hope that you're gonna enjoy it. So put your feet up, chill and enjoy the speed build, I guess. So you are joining me today for a 30 by 30 lot in Ravenwood, which is the map from Life and Death in the Crossing district. You can see it right now on the screen where exactly I placed it. Now, you know, this is a question that I sometimes getting, and I wanted to make sure that we all on the same page. The question is, can I place your builds on other lots? Now, I do try to make my builds kind of fitting into the environment of where I'm placing them. However, I do understand and I know that not all players have like this specific map, this specific expansion or whatever. By the way, I have a full opinion about the stage of the game currently with so many expansion packs that you need to pay for. I'm gonna get to that later on in the video if you want to hear my opinion and how EA can actually make their game good again. But as I said, not everyone has all the maps, all the lots, all the types of locations. So I do try to create my builds kind of fitting into the environment of where I'm building them. Lover, many of them can actually fit into other maps, other lots, and especially this one over here. It's going to have like a very cool, very clean lawn, big lawn in front of the build. I think you saw it at the intro. So it can fit into many other maps that contain a lot of grass around. And also, for the record, it can also fit into Oasis Springs. Not many knows that, but I don't remember the district name. I do believe it's the one on the left top corner. There are a lot of lots over there that are actually greenish or inside of many green patches. So this build definitely can fit over there also. By the way, this is where I built back then the Golden Bank build, if you want to get that on my channel again. So this build can fit into other places. Don't be afraid to place it in other locations. And as I said, this is a 30 by 30, which is not a big build. You know, usually I'm making like 50 by 50, 64 by 64. However, I really wanted to try and start filling the world of The Sims with smaller builds. And this is exactly why we are here and why I'm building on a smaller lots. I do have like smaller builds in the past, restaurants, shops, stuff like that. But yeah, that was my intention over here. So it can fit to other locations. I would not recommend to place this in like I don't know, the map from vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. I don't think it's gonna fit over there. But any other city with a lot of green around definitely can fit. So that I just wanted to point that out. Now, if you want to know how much it's gonna cost to you or what type of a build is it, so this is gonna be a small business venue, as I think I stated at the beginning of the video, and it's gonna cost you 220,000 simoleons to purchase it if you want to be the owner of it. However, you know that you don't have to be the owner. You can also set it up. You can play another Sims in the game and set it up, open it, and just bring your Sims over here if you want. For an example, at least in the way I intended this build for you to actually work, it's supposed to be a great location for Sims who wants to practice law, want to practice charisma skills, and maybe debating classes and research and stuff like that. So that is the whole thing that I had in mind when creating this. It's gonna be a great location for those Sims. If you have a Sims in Lockery or something, great place for them to either own or just to come over here, visit, and increase their skills in classes that you can tend to. Or again, if you're the owner, you can pass those classes to other Sims in the world. So definitely a lot of stuff that you can actually do over here. And I don't know if you know that, but it's actually a really good income if you're like running this place. And by the way, right now you can see that I'm creating a custom-made, I don't know, poles. You can call them columns, maybe. By just rotating like chimneys. By the way, there is no hob over here in the or fireplace, as some other will call it. So some people might think that those chimneys will start like go smoking. No, there is no hob over here. So you need to have an active hob in your build in order for chimneys to actually start create smoke and get smoky. And right now, by the way, you can see that I'm creating the judge's hammer. There is actually a name for that, which I don't remember it right now. But yeah, I'm creating like a big judge hammer, and it's gonna be the symbol of this build in front of the build on the big lawn. Really, really cool. That was actually the main idea that I had at the beginning when I was thinking about creating Courthouse. Yeah, so now we're creating it with the tool mode, of course, and we're gonna set it in a very cool position in front of the build. So basically no one will be able to miss it and will think that this is something else. This is the Courthouse. Now, in my mind, this is not just a courthouse. I love to have some sort of a theme to a build. So this is the old courthouse. You can see there are a lot of like bricks and basically there are gonna be a lot of marks on the build around. I'm not quite sure that you're gonna see them. I think I did it like off camera, but there's gonna be like a lot of decaying symbols and marks on the build because this is supposed to be the old courthouse. Again, building it in Ravenwood originally, of course you can place it in another location, but building it originally in Ravenwood, which is very, very old-ish place, oldish map, oldish city, I guess you can refer it to. So it's definitely gonna fit over here perfectly. Yeah, that was the whole concept of this build, the old courthouse. Now, let me know if you want me to create maybe a, like a bigger version, maybe, I don't know, Supreme Courthouse or something like that, which gonna be much bigger, maybe a 50 by 50, and with much more courts, like the inside courtrooms. And by the way, over here, if you're curious, you're gonna see it in a bit, but there are gonna be like two small courtrooms. There are gonna be like a classes room where you can either teach others or you can tend to the classes that are gonna be hosted there by other Sims in the world. I don't know if, by the way, if the game will automatically create this build or will active this career, or not career, small business venue by itself, if you are not the one to set it up. And by the way, if you want to know how I set it up originally, you can see it right now on the screen. So as you can see, I made it so you can attend classes and lectures, you can debate over here, and you can give speeches, which all of those all together will increase most of your charisma and maybe, like good friendships you can actually create over here. But that's the way how I set it up. You can also change the way of the fees, because I did it like per hour. I think you can do it also like one-time entrance and then getting the money from tending the classes, but this is really up to you. And another thing that I specifically created for this build is you can see that there are preferred customers, which is going to be businessmen, lawsuits, politicians, because I think it's just fit the overall idea of it, right? You can also change other settings over there, but this is like let's call it like the default way to set it up if you wanted to set it up the way I intend you to do it. But of course, go crazy, do whatever you want. And as you can see, currently, I think we are very close to actually get inside of the build soon and start doing the interior, so don't go anywhere. And right now on the screen, you can see the big lawn mowing area, or this is the lawn mower that I created long ago, people, so you're not gonna see how I created this, but this is my creation. You can find it, by the way, on my gallery. I uploaded it as a room, so if you want to use it in your builds, you can just like, you can download that small tiny room, place it on your build, move it around with tool mod if you want to move the whole thing, or you can only rotate it like 45 every time, 45 degrees every time, right? And place it wherever you want, and just delete the underpass, or not pass, the underpart foundation underneath it, and you can have a lawnmower. By the way, I don't know, people, if you know that, if you are brand new to the channel, this is the stuff that I make. I make very different stuff. You know, I'm not making like houses. I usually try to make businesses and restaurants and community lots and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm gonna ask you nicely currently, people, because I noticed that many of you who are watching my videos are not subscribers. And I don't know, it's because you just don't want to subscribe, which is totally okay. It's up to you. I still try to, you know, get into a milestone. I really would love to see myself reaching 50,000 subscribers soon, maybe until the end of the year. So let's see if you can help me do that. For me, it's a lot. For you, you don't need to do much. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you don't want to miss my next build, just hit the bell notification button, of course, and set it to all. Because from time to time, by the way, people, if you are new here, I'm also doing like surveys and stuff, asking what you want to see, what do you like the most. So definitely active community over here. People are really cool and nice. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. It will be awesome. And by the way, right now you can see the, let's call it like the reception area or the front desk, right? Where people are coming over, asking where they need to go, where they need to be, which courtroom they need to attend to, right? And those doors right there, you can see right now, there's gonna be like the sleeping area of the judges, of the lawyers, those who want to rent themselves like a small room and like crash the night over there, so they don't need to go back to their home and stuff. And on the left over there was also a small tiny kitchen, so just for you to something to look forward to. Okay, and right here you can see this is the classroom. Now, if you did not skip the intro or the beginning of the video, you know that I already told you that it's not going to be a big one. You can see that there is a debate podium over here, but as I stated at the beginning, if you want to change the stuff that you're teaching over here, and I think if you're asking me as someone who created this, the best thing that you can actually teach over here, it's going to be research debate classes, charisma classes, and logic classes. However, you're going to need to change the objects around the classroom, because you do have the big board, but for an example, for charisma, you need to have three mirrors, which you're going to have. You're not going to see it over here, but I placed 3 mirrors. But for logic, you need to have 3 tables of chess, I believe, or something else. And for debate and research classes, you need to have like debate podiums. So it really depends on what you want to teach. You need to change and shift a little bit the items that I used over here, because when I built it, I wanted it to you know, just fit the atmosphere of this build. So I placed like a lot of stuff that you're usually gonna find in classes, like a coffee maker area for staying awake, you know, not fall asleep on the table or on the podium, depends on what part of the class you are part of, like the one who's giving the class or the one who is attending it. Of course, water bottles on tables and something to snack in between. So if you want to have different types of classes over here, you're just gonna need to switch maybe the debate podiums to separate podiums or mics and stuff like that. Really depends on what you want to do over here. So really up to you. It's not a big class, but definitely there's enough space for anything else. So that's just the thing that I wanted to point out again, okay? So now, I do want to talk about the Sims 4 current stage, and we're gonna do it right now while you see me creating one of the court rooms. Now, there are gonna be 2 of them, by the way, and you know the drill. From time to time, I'm gonna do a stop just to point something out. But as you can see, this is the court room, and it is, again, it's the old courthouse, so it's gonna be a little bit oldish in the fashion of it. It's not more than one. But I do hope that you're gonna enjoy it, and yeah, there are gonna be 2 of them. You're gonna see only one, okay? The other one is basically a mirror copy-paste of this one, so no point. But let's talk about the stage of the game currently, because call me crazy, people, but I think that the game currently is so quiet. Now, when I say quiet, literally, it's quiet. Like, the people are not really talking about it. There is no big fuss or big news going on. The Sims team does not talk much. And basically the numbers do not lie. I actually see a big decline of people actually playing the game currently. I do believe that the last time I checked was something around less than 50,000, 40,000 people playing a day the game. So it's not a big thing. Definitely if you're comparing it to other games. Now again, this is a 11, 12 years old game. However, I think this is one of the biggest problem of the game. So let's talk about that, because I can understand people saying that it's just kinda not fair and the business, the business way, the EA kinda addressing the game after 12 years is kinda wrong. And to be honest, I can understand that. Every expansion pack, it's kinda expensive stuff. Definitely if someone going into the game for the first time, I don't think that there are many people who's like brand new players. Let me know, are you brand new player on the game The game itself is for free, but all the expansion packs, the kits, everything is, costly. Now, as someone who had the game from the beginning, okay, from literally the day one, I can understand people also like me who bought the stuff over the years. So it's not expensive if you think about it, over the year buying all the stuff, right? However, if you are new to the game and then you want to buy the game with all of the expansions to have it, it can be costly. I do believe it's gonna reach around like what? 1,000 if there are no sales. Though I do encourage you people to get it on sale. However, and this is my big thing that I wanted to point out. You know that actually in the past I was actually sharing some tray files for people because I was one of those people back then that could not afford it, and that's why I did it. However, I also don't really support people playing on a cracked version of the game because, a brand new game becomes a new game because they have the money to make it. However, I do think, and let me know what you think, that in 2025, The Sims 4 should have been already like most games. A game that contain a game passes, which means that you can play the game for free and you can grind your butt off in order to get all of the expansion packs for free, or you can do it the easy way by purchasing them and unlocking everything in advance. I do believe that in 2025 and 2026, and I do hope that Sims 5 will be like that, that is how the game should work in my opinion. The Sims team and EA kinda in the past where you're buying like expansion packs to play the game, which I think it should not be the case. So let me know what you think about this idea in the comment section down below. So one of the cases in the courthouse was someone got food poisoned from milk. So you go and check the milk farm they bought the milk from. Right here, no CC, no mods. Enjoy it, and until the next time, keep that Sims party going for me, RG out.